Bro, you are smarter than you look.
Look pretty smart.
No, actually, you don't. You look pretty cute, I guess, if you call yourself that.
The? What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cut and Debate. I'm your boy Cheyenne. This is my co-host Mike. We are filming in sunny South Florida in Wynwood, Miami, at the Stellar Cuts Barbershop. Before we start getting into everything, me and Mike was actually just talking, and we was talking. Mike's a photographer.
Yeah.
But not only is he a top barber in the state of Florida, he is a top photographer, and he was doing some work before Angel counted down. And he was liking people on Instagram. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? We about to shoot. He's like, well, this is for work. I have models who hit me up and they want to get shot. So I was like, yo, have you ever shot a model who's like ugly? Like, what would you do in the instance if the girl hits you up on Instagram, you look at her picture and like, yo, she is butt ugly, but she's going to pay you. How do you feel? Like, and what do you say inside the shots? Like because you know how most models, they good looking. And you like, yo, that's great.
Awesome.
That's great. This is great. What is your response with the ugly girl who's shooting?
Look, man, I'm a really good liar. So when I'm on set, I just lie. I lie through my teeth. I lie. You don't want to break anybody's confidence when they're shooting because it'll come out in the pictures, you know? Like,
you have confident ugly girls?
Yeah. Otherwise, why are they shooting? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're in front of my camera, there's some air of confidence about you. If not, why are you shooting? Why are you here? Like, nah. You don't try to break anybody's confidence when they're shooting. So you're just nice to everybody. You know, have I shot ugly girls? Yeah, but trust me, they paid me. Like, trust me, they paid me. If I'm collaborating with you, it's because you're worth collaborating.
So if any of them, and then you put them on your Instagram, he has a lot of Instagram followers. Plug the page for your mom.
Michelangelo_photography, for those of you who don't know.
He got over like 120, 30,000 followers on that page, right? Now, have any of them asked you, why haven't you put me on your page for the photo shoot that we done? Do you have an answer, like a go-to answer?
Okay, so like, yeah, here's the thing, right? I tell models before we shoot, all of them, even the hot ones, I tell them before we shoot, you being posted on my page is not guaranteed. Like, the stuff I post on my page is because it meets a certain niche. There's certain stuff, or there's certain things I look for, or qualifications.
You ain't got it.
Look for when I'm gonna post you on my page. So even if you're hot, I'm gonna tell you off rip, like, look, me posting on my page is not guaranteed. You know, like, what's guaranteed is I'm gonna shoot with you and you're gonna get great images. Like, that's what I'm guaranteeing you. Like, the stuff I post on my page is stuff that I feel or I want to post. I don't post on my page because the model wants me to post on my page. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really concerned. Not even concerned. I really want to be in the room one time. Like, let's make this happen. Whenever the next ugly girl hits you up and they say, I want you to shoot me, I want you to call me and make it seem like I'm your manager, but I want to be there for the convo. When you say, hey, look, I'm probably not going to put you on my page. It's not guaranteed. I want to see a response.
All right. But the thing is, I tell every single model I shoot at, every single model, I said, look, you're not paying me or shooting with me to get posted on my page. You're shooting with me for the content. You want the pictures. If you're going to get posted on my page, it's because I wanted to post you. If you want to pay me to post you, like, I can do that too.
Send me the ugly girl picture too, because I want to see what the hell she's shooting for. Like, what are you shooting your pictures for? What magazine, what ad are you trying to go for?
A lot of these ugly girls, when they're paying me to shoot, they're not shooting for a magazine or for an ad. They're shooting for like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Like, they have their own fan base. Like, I know you made a face like ugly girls got OnlyFans. Bruh, you'd be surprised. There's some guys out there that'll pay for anything.
If you subscribing to the ugly girl OnlyFans page, you was a weirdo. I can't stand you.
I mean, I get it. I agree with you on that, but it's happening.
You're right up there with the foot people, the people that be at requesting foot pics.
Right.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna talk because I make money off foot pics, so I'm selling this left to right.
You be requesting foot pics?
No, I sell them. I'm a photographer. I take women's feet pictures and I sell them on the internet.
Yo, I don't know if that's legal or not. Hey, so getting into
guys, I have my OnlyFans in case you want.
Getting into the picks of the week, starting up for last week. I went 6-2. Mike went 6-2, I also believe. And I told him I was about to guru this thing. I should have been 7-1. Chicago blew that for me. But Tuesday, October 26th, Philly versus New York. I knew what New York was going to do, and they did exactly what I expected. I like this young team. They're very exciting. Number one in the East right now with their 4-1 record. I knew that they were going to come out strong. I don't think it's going to sustain, but I really like the New York Knicks. What do you think about the Knicks-Philly game?
Okay, so I picked wrong on that game.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, it's not going to be too much of that going on. But I did choose wrong on that game. I picked Philly to win. You know, I thought they were going to pull this one out. I figured they were playing decent basketball. Once again, I am a New York Knicks fan, so I did think that the Knicks could beat Philly. I just didn't think they were going to beat Philly this game. So with that being said, the guru got that pick off.
Absolutely, because that's what I do. I am the guru. The second game of the night, Denver versus Utah. I had Utah beating Denver at home. Like I said, the fans in Utah, all there is to do is pick and grow potatoes and watch Utah basketball. And Utah fans are awesome in that arena. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. Donovan Mitchell, Gobert, everybody clicking on all cylinders. I knew that was an easy win for them.
Yeah, that was a relatively easy pick. We already knew Utah was going to win that game. Like I said, Denver is good competition for Utah when Jamal Murray's in the game. Without no Jamal Murray, I wasn't really picking Denver to be a competition to compete with Utah. It was a good game though.
Yeah, and that Utah is also number one in the West right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
With a couple other people that are pretty surprising, but Utah is at the top. I picked them. It's another guru pick for you guys.
This guy loves himself, bro.
I'm just saying, if you can't love yourself, then nobody else will. But Utah is top of the league right now. I saw this coming. I knew that, Donovan Mitchell and those guys, they have a great squad. Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Ingles, they have a great squad, and I think they're going to be the team to be reckoned with in the West moving forward.
Well, I'm not going to argue that, but like I said, Utah was going to win. Next game.
Wednesday, the 27th, Atlanta versus New Orleans. I had Atlanta winning, and it was a nail biter at first because I thought Atlanta was going to lose, really. And we thought it was going to be a blowout, both of us, because they don't have Zion. Even though it was in New Orleans, maybe probably went and partied in New Orleans the night before Atlanta did. They started out a little bit slow, but came back in the end. Trae Young had like 30-some points, killed it.
Amazing.
And ultimately took the W. But it did have me pissed off because I'm like, yo, y'all gonna have me on the second day looking crazy against this dude sitting next to me.
Bruh.
But Atlanta pulled it off.
Yeah, lucky for you, I picked Atlanta to win that game also. So that game wouldn't have gave you any kind of an edge or gave me any kind of an edge over you. So with that being said, yeah, I picked ATL to win just because I knew Zion wasn't going to be there for New Orleans. I didn't even think the game was going to be that close. So I'm surprised that New Orleans made it that close. Then again, they still do got some good ball players over there. So let's see what happens in the future for them.
For me, that was an easy pick. We both picked it. You thought it was going to be a blowout, which I thought it was going to be a pretty easy win.
Thought it was going to be a blowout.
Absolutely, I did too. Right. But it wasn't lucky for me because I still finished 6. I should have finished 7-1. Anyway, Memphis versus Portland that same night. Ja Morant did what I thought Ja Morant, he's playing amazing. Once again, like I said, I thought I got kind of scared because I thought he may pull off the upset.
You see, that's the problem. Gurus aren't supposed to think. You guys are just supposed to know.
But with the thing with being a guru, I know what's supposed to happen, but people are still people and they're going to mess it up because they're going to do stuff that I'm not expecting them to do.
I got you.
My sense, my third sense, sixth sense?
The guru sense.
Sixth sense tells me that I am going, that this is what's happening. But things along the way can happen to disturb what was supposed to happen in that line of time.
There was a disturbance in the force.
You see what I'm saying? So like if somebody was supposed to pick up a penny and they didn't pick it up, that messed up what was supposed to happen for Portland or for what happened for Ja
Morant. You. Hey guys, pick up your pennies.
Fortunately, everybody picked up their pennies that day and nobody tied their shoe on left instead of doing right first, and Portland won. So that's what happened. That's what can mess up the guru's pick.
Okay, step on the crack and break your mama's back. You heard it from the guru. All right, with that being said, let's move on to the next game. Oh, wait, Portland did beat Memphis. I'm sorry, I didn't give you my take on it. Portland did beat Memphis. I call that. Memphis is a really good basketball team, and Ja Morant's amazing, but I just feel like he's a one-man show playing against an actually pretty well-formed team. Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum are two of my favorite guards in the league. And with that being said, I just thought it was going to be too much for Ja Morant to handle on his own. All right, so the next game that we have on the docket is
New York and Chicago, Thursday the 28th. This was a game that I was.
Pause. Time out. Coffee break.
A few moments later.
With New York and Chicago, I thought Chicago was going to pull it out. They've been playing great, and they were at home. Crowd was nuts. It was Joakim Noah night or something like that. Every person in the building that you can think of, Tony Kukoc and all types of other Bulls greats were inside of the building. So I thought that was going to give them enough to pull it out. DeMar DeRozan, I don't know why he pump fake, but if he just goes up and knocks down and shoots the jumper straight up with nobody around him instead of pump faking, that's a win in the book for me. So like I said, something happened in the time space continuum where somebody picked up a penny and then they dropped it and they wasn't supposed to, and then DeMar DeRozan pump fake, and that's why I lost.
So you know what happened in the time space continuum? I made the right pick. If you remember last week, I was actually going to go with Chicago to win that game. I was having an internal debate on the set, and I actually changed my mind on the set and picked New York to win that game. By a damn point. That's what you call being a guru. When you're really a guru, these things just come to you. Like, you don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Petty, space-time, whatever. They come to you. And you just make the right pick because it comes to you.
What I also think is happening is the fact that my aura and my presence is starting to rub off on you, which I'm glad, because that made you make that pick and that split decision to change it, which is probably why I didn't feel we probably sitting too close. With COVID, you should be 6 feet away from me, which would not take into my aura, but the camera won't get us. Anyway, but nah, that was a heck of a pick. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hats off to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it
in real time and
stuck to my guns on it. Luck gurus don't have luck, but I guess whatever.
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, that pump fake, man.
Nah, that's my guy. DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to you. Go straight up and shoot the ball. Memphis at Golden State that same night. Another one, and I think this is another thing that messed up. When Mike changed his pick from Chicago to New York, this is what messed up time space continuum. Memphis at Golden State, Ja Morant went freaking nuts on those guys, and to counter to your point, in the
second half though, bro, like they were getting murdered in the first half.
Counter to your point, he did it by himself because he went off on Steph, he went off on everybody, and he went crazy. So
I watched that game; it was a nightmare.
As soon as they get one more player, maybe in the offseason or in the next couple of years, to like co-pilot with Ja Morant, man, Memphis is going to be in the top 3, top 4 teams in the West.
I agree. Like, I was watching that game, and then so many things hurt me. The complete disappearance of Stephen Curry in the second half. The guy had like 30 points in the first half, and he disappeared in the second.
He probably got a little tired.
I mean, I get it, but Ja Morant was having a field day with you at some point. Like, I kind of wanted to see, you know? And then here's another thing. In Steph's defense, Steph never had to stick Ja Morant. They had Wiggins sticking him. And Ja Morant was murdering.
Wiggins ain't really no defensive player.
Not like that.
He's
not like that.
Long.
Yeah, he was
That's
long.
Why you trying to just disrupt him, but you ain't disrupting.
Ja Morant was embarrassing that poor guy. It was a nightmare to watch. I literally watched my pick load.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game though. Yeah. I actually stayed up to watch and I was tired the next day because I'm getting old.
No,
but
facts.
Friday the 29th, Charlotte versus Miami. I picked Miami. Now look, Miami's playing well.
Wait, you picked Miami to win that?
I did.
You did
and
what?
I run the tape back because I even said it pains me.
No, I believe you.
Tyler Hero is averaging 20-something points a game.
I believe you. It's just hard to believe that you, of all people, actually picked my team to win a game.
Guru isn't biased. So that's the thing. I picked the picks that are people who are going to win. And I also knew that Charlotte was coming in here with a young nucleus of people who haven't been partying, and they looked like it when they first started the game. As you saw, LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, all those guys, they look terrible.
Horrible.
Because they was in 11, they was in Club 11, they was in Tootsies, or they was in G5. And
I call it defense, but whatever.
It wasn't, man, even in the interview, I was watching the interview before the game with LaMelo Ball, and he didn't even want to talk to the girl. Like, she was asking him questions, and his answers didn't make sense. The first question, she said, so how do you think you guys are playing? He's like, yeah, like I said, we just trying to make it to the playoffs. I was like, they didn't even answer the question.
Bro, you know what's funny?
Drunk?
I was watching that interview, and I was like, whoa. The chemistry between these two is way off.
Horrible. It was the most awkward interview ever.
It looked like a train wreck. At some point, she looked like she was trying to pull questions out of her ass.
Yeah, he started off like he already had his answers. Like they gave him an answer, like, "Hey, Melo, here's the answers," and she asked the question that was completely off.
And then he gave whatever answer he wanted.
But anyway, them guys went out and partied the night before. You could tell, and that's why Miami won. And I knew that was going to happen because they got a whole bunch of young dudes who aren't disciplined yet. And Tyler Hero's actually playing pretty great. Like, he's saving these
Lane,
guys
their
right
coach.
now.
Yeah, no, Tyler Hero's playing great basketball. He is. Offensively, the guy looks like a fucking
He's
stud.
on a mission.
Yeah, he's on a he literally. That thing he said about Luka and he's trying to prove
He's
that
trying to
point.
do that. And
He's
that's
trying to prove
good
that
for
point.
him because Duncan Robinson can't throw a shot into the ocean.
You
We
saw
right
that?
next to the water.
Bruh. Oh, I'm talking about all kind of jumpers, wide open. He made one contested. He made one contested.
I feel like Duncan Robinson got his money and he's like, yo, I'm good.
He pulled Hassan.
He's like, I'm good.
He pulled Hassan.
Yeah, I'm straight.
He
like,
pulled the white side, son.
I didn't think I was even going to get here. What, he was D3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Literally.
All right,
Yeah, y'all
enjoy
gave
life.
me, y'all
Hey,
gave me
cut
90
so
million.
what? Cut me, so what? I'm just going to enjoy
Jesus
life and go to Ibiza and smash a whole bunch of Spanish joints.
Miami, let that be a lesson to you. Stop prematurely paying these people. They're not earning their money. All right, next team.
Dallas and Denver.
Let's get it.
Dallas and Denver towards I picked Denver to win against Dallas. I feel like it was a good pick. And it was because Denver won
by a lot.
Jokic and I think Porter's hurt or he's nursing an injury or something like that. But they're still playing well. And Denver pulled it out like I knew they were going to at home.
It was a good game. If you like Denver, because it was a blowout. So with that being said, Dallas, they need more pieces. I'm pretty sure Porzingis is hurt for them, and he's not playing basketball right now. So, Luka's good, but he's not enough to do it on his own. So with that being said, that was a no-brainer.
I don't think anybody can do it on their own. Jordan did it on his own.
No, he didn't. Scottie Pippen was there. Dennis Rodman was there.
He came later.
Kukoc was there.
But Jordan did it on it.
Kerr.
Jordan
BJ
got into the
Armstrong,
playoffs.
Ron Harper.
They did little pieces. But Jordan really did that stuff on his own.
They had no. Without those pieces, you don't win all those games.
People can do it on their own, though. D-Wade did it on his own when Shaq went out. You was watching because you were a Heat fan.
I'm a Heat fan, but
yeah, and it was the most amazing thing anybody's ever seen.
Wait a minute. Wade was averaging like 40 points that playoff series
on his own.
Right. That was a different era. That was 06.
What?
That was 15 years ago.
What does that even mean? It has nothing to do with the era. You just saying nobody can do it on their own.
Since then, who's done it by himself?
Dirk Nowitzki. When he beat the Heat.
No. He had Jason Terry on that team and JJ Barea. They were killing us.
JJ Barea is 5'4".
And he killed us. And so did Jason Terry.
Just to kill the point. You can win the team. You can win on your own. It's not.
You can win a basketball game on your own. You're not going to win a championship playing by yourself.
Dwayne Wade, great job.
15 years ago.
You did it on your own.
06. 15 years ago. Do it again.
He's hating.
How am I hating? You're my guy. You're my guy.
So one of the things we wanted to talk about is some of the surprises in the NBA season so far. A lot of teams that you had no idea were going to be where they are. The Knicks being one of them. Number 1 in the East. You got Chicago, number 3 in the East right now in the standings. Charlotte, even though they lost to Miami, they're 5 in the East. So the top 5 is made up of Washington, Charlotte, Miami, New York, and Chicago.
Right.
Who the hell saw that coming? You got Milwaukee at 6, Brooklyn all the way out of the top 8, Philly at 8, Atlanta at 6. So it's like, Atlanta at 7, excuse me. You have a lot of people who are playing well. What do you think that's contribute? Like, what do you think is the contributing factor to these underdog teams that are playing well? And then do you think they're going to sustain that in the long run?
All right, so during the offseason, there was a lot of flip-flopping going on as far as like players going to different teams. A lot of teams are upside down right now. There are a lot of injuries. Like, people did not know what kind of team they were going to get until the team actually hit the floor. Even if you knew what players were on your roster, you didn't know how they were going to look together. We didn't know how Kyle was going to fit in with Jimmy. We didn't know that DeMar DeRozan was going to look so good in Chicago. Like, nobody knew what they were getting themselves into. We didn't know the impact that Kemba Walker was going to have on the New York Knicks. With that being said, right now, the league is somewhat upside down, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's great. Basketball is the best it's been in a while.
Literally, this is great basketball. It's entertaining. You don't really know who's going to win. Like, there are no given favorites, even though there are some given favorites. I hate to say it helps to level the playing field somewhat. And I think that's making for great basketball.
You know what's the best thing for me? Like, as the guru that I am, that the Lakers are not even in a playoff spot right now. Even though we're only 5 games in, the Lakers are number out in the 9th seed.
I need you to recall when I said in episode 1 that the Lakers were going to struggle in the first half of the season.
Not even in the playoffs, though. Like,
Wait a minute.
That's great.
Wait a minute. First half of the season. We're not even 10% in.
Do you have them finish top 5?
Who, the Lakers?
Yes.
I have the Lakers limping into the playoffs. So I don't even know if they're going to finish top 5. They might be a 6 or 7 seed. I had them limping into the playoffs. And what did I say then that I'm going to reiterate now? I feel sorry for anybody who has to see the Lakers in a 7-game series in the playoffs. no matter what
Well,
team
hold
you are.
on. You had them going into the Western Conference Finals and even maybe into the
Yeah.
NBA Finals,
Right.
but you have them limping into the playoffs?
Yes. The same way I said this in episode 1. I said this. The Lakers are going to limp into the playoffs. They're going to have a shitty first half of the season. No matter who they face, whether an 8th seed, 7th seed, 6th seed, 1st seed, they are still a nightmare to face in a 7-game series.
Phoenix Suns was the second pick that you picked as your top team in the West.
Uh-huh.
They are also in the 10th spot in the West. Where you
Once
see
again,
that? What you see happening with
How
them?
many games into the season are we?
We're 5.
Oh, wait.
We're 5.
5 whole games of an 82-game season. We're 5 whole games in.
I'm asking if you're going to think they're
5 whole games
so
in.
you think they're not going
to I'm sticking to my guns.
Are they limping into the playoffs as well?
Are you trying to get me to change my mind?
No, I'm
It's not gonna work.
I'm just saying that
I'm sticking to my gun.
early on, listen to your boy because that's what I do. I'm basically writing the NBA season as it's
Wait a
happening.
minute.
I'm like the lady who made Harry Potter. I'm
Help
writing this book
Help me
of the
recall.
NBA.
What were your picks again? Or what was your record in picks again last week?
It was 4-8 on the first week.
4 out of 8.
But who were my teams?
You're shooting 50% from the field, my friend.
It was 6-2 this week. But who were the teams that I picked to be my teams to watch for the my teams that were going to make it out of the East and the West? Out of the West, I said Utah. Utah is number 1. As my sleeper, I said Golden State. Golden State's number 2. As the team that I said, as a team I said to watch, I said New York. New York is number 1 in the East. As my team I said to watch, I said Charlotte. Charlotte's number 5 in the East.
What did you say was going to happen to the Miami Heat?
That's the only thing I was wrong about.
The only thing you were wrong about?
That's the only thing I was wrong about.
The only thing you were wrong about.
Yeah. So
Mr. 4-8 last week?
Yeah, I mean those picks don't matter because this week that's the great thing about basketball.
Mr. 6 of 8 this week?
That's a great thing about
You've been wrong 6 times in the last 2 weeks. A 7.
My record right now is what? 8-16? That's 50%.
50% is not that good, bro.
Wait, is it 8-16? No, it's 10-16.
You're 10 or 16.
10
and
16.
You're
That's
10
a
and
pretty good percentage. And as it continues to go on, every single week, it's gonna continue to get better. Anyway, like I was saying, a lot of surprises in the league this year, but I don't think a lot of these teams are going to sustain being at the top of the league as everybody starts to get their players back from injury, as people start to do matchups and scouting and all that other stuff, and they start to figure out how to stop Ja Morant and how they figure out how to, keep the Charlotte Hornets at bay by all the wild stuff that they're able to do. When they start putting, X's and O's together, that's when the whole season starts to change. I don't think it's going to sustain.
You do realize that the Knicks are tied. There's a 4-way tie for first place in the East.
That's fine.
But the Knicks are at the top of the East.
They are.
There's a 4-way tie.
Exactly, between New York, Miami, Chicago, and Washington.
Right. So you could.
But they got the Knicks at number 1.
That's just because there's no way to divide that up right now. They're
still
all
at the
4-0.
They're still at the top.
They're all 4-1. I'm sorry.
They could have put anybody at the top, but who's at the top? Exactly. They're number 1. Another thing
it's a 4-way tie, guys.
Another thing.
Miami's also number 1.
They're number 2. Another thing that's big news around the league is James Harden. James Harden, the new NBA fouling rule, or the new rule where they're not going to be calling fouls for non-basketball moves, definitely is taking effect on James Harden. James Harden, up until one point, had shot less than 5 free throws in the first 5 games of the season, and he is having an abysmal year. I think the first game that he had an actual good game was last night,
right?
But he has been playing horrific. And the reason why I don't even think it's just James Harden. Some other players are also struggling a little bit. Trae Young being one of them, who just got fined. For talking about the refs. Some of this stuff is fouls. Like some of the things that I've been seeing, I think the refs have to figure out their way as well, because some of the things that are being, some of the no calls, are actually fouls. Yeah, like if you're going to the lane and you try to grab somebody's arm or something and then sweep under and make a shot to get called for a foul, that's not a foul.
Right.
But if I'm going up and you stop my hand from being able to get to the basket and make a move, that's a foul. They have to start calling that stuff, or it's going to continue to make what's going to end up happening is people are going to get hurt because people are going to start just fouling people, for no reason. And you're not calling a foul. They have to find a good balance.
All right, my thing is this. I noticed that when we're in the playoffs, they tend to let a lot of fouls go in the playoffs because I get it. It's a 7-game series. You kind of want to see the best team win. You don't want referees taking over the basketball game. But during the regular season, I think it's more important to protect the players because the players need to make it through the playoffs. With that being said, there's a lot of hacking going on down there right now. Like when I say hacking, I mean, bruh, I play on the playground and I don't get hacked the way they're hacking in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to call the foul. I'm going to call ball.
No, all day. there's got to be a happy medium somewhere because once again, we're not trying to see our players get injured before the playoffs start. You know what I mean? So I think the referees need to call the actual fouls, and I think the coaches should debate the fouls that or challenge the fouls that they think are not legitimate fouls.
You only
But
get
the
one
refs,
challenge though. Everybody's sitting on a challenge.
I get that, and I think that's another problem. I think people sitting on their challenges is a problem. I think what you should do is give them each one challenge per half. I don't want to slow down the game, but there are certain plays where you as a coach should challenge that play, especially if your player is telling you to do so. Like, yo, I'm the player. I know I didn't foul him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coach, have some faith in
Yeah,
me.
but players be lying though. I say all the time, I'll hack the crap out of somebody. I hack the shit out of somebody, and I'll be like, yo, I
Right.
ain't foul him. And then my
A player
coach loses the time.
a player
I
a
can't
player
take that
can
chance as a
lie,
coach.
but a player can also lose credibility. If you if I
if you
do
lie too many times,
lie too
hey
many
man, go over,
times,
sit down, Pat
it's
Beverly.
like,
Shut up.
hey, look, Pat, you remember what happened the last time?
Yeah.
Like, I need
Yeah,
this.
sit down, man.
So you feel me though. Like
Nah,
I
got
do understand that, yeah, there's gotta be some kind of a happy median. At the same time, like, I don't wanna see players get hurt unnecessarily. I wanna see my guys finish the season. I wanna see everybody finish the season. And then I think the best way to do that is for the coaches and the league to get together with the refs and find out the best way to make these calls legitimate. You know what I mean?
Well, they
Like,
just need to start. They need the refs, the commissioner of the refs, the NBA Players Association, and the actual NBA Association need to get together and they need to figure out how to iron this thing out. What they're doing right now is they're just saying, "Hey, this is a non-basketball foul, right?
right.
This is a non-active shooting or non-basketball play, and this is what considered." But it's generalized, so they need to make sure that they sit down, look at some of these games to determine, like, "Hey, this is an actual foul." If you see somebody's hand go in an opposite direction
Yeah,
after
somebody
they're
hit him.
going up for a shot, that needs to be an actual foul. Like
Right,
that's a
right.
foul. You can't now if it's James Harden came off the screen the other day, and then like he hooked somebody's arm to like start throwing his hands in the air and then make it seem like he's shooting.
No,
That's
facts,
a non-basketball foul. Like that's not a basketball foul. But Trey Young going to the basket and Marcus Harrell going and hitting his arm, deterring him from being able to complete his follow through for his layup, that's an actual foul. So they need to
Right.
start going to the tape and then determining what is a foul and what's not a foul. And if they need to, as refs, they need to do challenges if they
Right,
miss something.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
That's facts.
Well, I mean that's our picks of the week this week. Once again, 6-2 for myself, 6-2 for Mike. Next week will probably be a little bit better because as I get my feet under me and I get myself going, this
He's still gonna pick the
guru-ness-
wrong games.
This guru-ness is gonna keep going. The guru chain is still going. We did want to switch it up a little bit and talk a little bit more about stuff that kind of we talk in the shop about every day. I think one of the topics we were discussing the other day. I want to just to give you an intro to this. I went to the gas station today and I was putting gas in my tank at $50. I was on E at $50. It only filled up my tank to half at $50 when $50, 3 weeks ago was filling my tank up. So we were talking about inflation and we were saying that everything in America is expensive as shit right now. I think the Arizona cans, the 99-cent cans that have been 99 cents for like the last
Ever.
50 years, forever, are going to like $1 and something. Like everything is expensive as shit. And it's hurting people's pockets. Like I didn't even want to finish my gas. Like I wanted to go back in and get some change from my gas. I want to be like, yo, wait a second. Hold on, man. Let me give you some of this back. Because I didn't know that it wasn't going to fill my stuff up. And I'm going to get a Tesla. I think I'm going to go get a Tesla.
I do not blame you, bro.
What- Has anything really affected you, in everyday life? Has anything that, as far as inflation, affected you from a barbershop standpoint, as far as a cost of living standpoint, as far as anything standpoint?
Inflation, yeah, but also supply and demand. Allow me to explain. So I'm a photographer, right? And then as a photographer, a lot of the equipment that I use comes from overseas, from China to be specific, So with that being said, shipment, the times are delayed. Like I'm ordering packages that usually take 2 days to get here. And now I gotta wait a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks because shipment lines are being delayed. And then the prices of these items are going up also.
Yeah, it's not everything.
It's everything. Like even stuff that used to cost me $25 before, I got to pay $40 for now, and then I got to wait longer to get it because the shipment lines are like all crazy. So yeah, supply and demand has gone up. Like I get that, but at the same time, I mean, come on, bro, there's got to be some kind of a leeway.
Balance.
Yeah,
There's got to be some type of balance or something. Where they're
Right.
gonna figure something.
Right.
One thing I do know is that all people are starting to raise up wages around the country
That's
because
my
they,
haircut prices going up.
and that's what I was gonna ask you. Do your prices go up for photography? Does your prices go up for haircuts? Does your prices go up for
Okay.
everything? Have you
So
changed anything?
so with the photography, I started charging more last year, but that's because my business took a jump. Um, with the barbering, I'm actually gonna start charging more this year. I didn't charge more last year because COVID was a serious issue. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then I didn't wanna scare away my clients by charging them more after I'm asking them to come back into the shop, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I didn't raise my prices on cutting hair yet, but that's gonna happen. That like, literally at the end of this year, beginning of next year.
Hey, got a second? I want to ask one question. Oh, I want it from a business owner standpoint.
Exactly. We're gonna bring the shop owner
I
over
want to
here. His
ask
name's
from I want
Jason.
to ask from a business owner standpoint. So, Jay? Why you walk so slow up here, man?
Be
All right,
cool,
so
Mo D,
listen, you
man.
don't have to
Cool, Mo
be
J.
cool because you're on camera. All right, just act natural. Don't be yourself. All right, so don't hit me. Everybody saw that. Hey, so look, so we were talking about inflation. Prices are going high for everything. We're talking about from our standpoint. Him as a barber, he's raised his prices. You know, he's going to raise his prices individually. As a business owner, how does the inflation affect you and affect how you're running your business and how you're able to sustain in this type of market?
I
Gotta
mean,
talk
well,
close to
right
the mic.
now, I got to say that a lot of our barbers are fortunate that we have, loyal customers and people that have been coming to us for years and they understand the circumstances. So apparently, like Mike said, we have to go up on our prices and, you know, we're trying to be reasonable, but it is becoming a little complicated. Like, for example, we have a parking lot, it's right on the side of our business, and the minimum rate there for an hour is $15. So when you're
That
paying $15 for parking, and then you got to pay the price of the haircut, and we try to go up on the price, you're talking about a haircut's going to be about $60.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a problem.
has it affected your client base? Like, has
I can say that we probably slow down a little bit with walk-ins right now. Um, I don't know if that's just due to the season right now. Like we haven't seen the long-term effect of that yet, but I can say right now, Mike, can you agree? What usually
Totally.
August, September, October, we're a little bit getting ready for November, December, January, where it gets a lot busier.
Busier, right.
So we'll be able to determine then to see if we're really, really being affected by this inflation. Um, but again, we're fortunate that we have customers like yourself
yeah,
that take the drive all the way from where you come from
true.
and still pay the cost of what the haircut is, and you compensate very well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jay's been cutting my hair for about 13, 14 years now. And the reason why I come back is I tried to go to other barbers. I can't find anybody else that will cut my hair the way I want to cut it. But if he raises my prices, I'm out. Like I'm just letting you know right now, I'm out. Nah, I'm just kidding. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Nah, but he's Jay. Jay is
Owner
a
of
good.
Stellar Cuts.
Yeah, Jay's the owner of Stellar Cuts, and he actually has been a good friend of mine for a long time. He used to. I remember before he even had this, I used to go get my haircut at his house. So, and that was when my haircut was a lot cheaper than it is now. And if it goes up again, I'm out. Like I said, but no. I think this is a big issue across the country, and I think eventually, I don't know if we're headed towards a recession, another recession like 2008. But I can see it being hard for people out here in 2022 and
Facts.
2023 if things don't start to change, if wages don't continue to go up. Because you got to think as a business, you raise your wages, you're going to lose a couple
Business.
customers,
Yeah,
you're going to lose some
yeah.
business, but also you're going to have to take away from people as if the customers aren't coming, you're going to take away from the employees.
That's right.
So it's hopefully it finds a way to balance itself out, and hopefully we can get back from COVID soon. But right now, I think we are headed into a type of recession, not as hard as I don't think it was in 2008, but a form of recession.
No, I see that. I see that. I totally see that coming. I mean, to tell you the truth, I don't even know where to go from here. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a crazy time. This is a weird time that we're living in. And with that being said, I mean, we got to do the best we can to stay afloat. Everybody wants to raise rates. Everybody wants to save money, but there's got to be some kind of common ground where we can be in the middle.
Yeah,
Because right now, like, I don't want to starve. We all got plans, and we all want to live life, and but at the same time, I don't want to overcharge people for things that they shouldn't be paying that much money for. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what do you do? Like, I don't, I've been cutting a lot of my clients. Like, Jason been cutting you for years. I've been cutting a lot of my clients for years. Angel, the producer, I've been cutting his hair over 12 years. So with that being said, it's like, how do you raise prices on people who've been taking care of you all that time? Because I've been literally taken care of by them. Like they're paying my bills by coming to get their haircuts by me. So with that being said, it kind of sucks to have to raise their rates, but then it kind of sucks not to make money too. So it's like,
there's no balance.
Right.
And it's just, I mean,
right.
with COVID kind of slowing down in Florida, hopefully we can
Sense
try
of
to get back to
normalcy?
normal. Yeah, some sense of normalcy. But it still has a lasting impact. I wanted to get my bed. Like I ordered a bed. I just bought a house some months ago, and I ordered like a master bedroom set, and it's still back. It was still back ordered.
Ordered.
So it's like, they're never gonna get. I paid for it and everything, and I'm still not gonna get it. Like,
Right.
so it's like and it's months that they're a month's time that it's being delayed, and you sitting there like, dang, when they gonna get it? They're running out of wood. We're running out of materials for the mattresses. So it's like, eventually everything hopefully will get back to normal. But just right now, I mean, we have to try to find. Hopefully, the government can find some type of balance for everybody else. I don't know. Stimulus checks is coming back around because that made people lazy as shit.
Shit. That wasn't the right answer.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully we can get back the factory workers and everybody, caught up. To finish it out, we're gonna go with our picks of the week. We're gonna change up the style of the picks of the week this time. We're not gonna give too much in depth as the season is going on. We're letting everybody know just basically who we're picking for the games coming up. Top games coming up for pick of the week for week 3, Tuesday, November 2nd. Miami at Dallas. I got Dallas winning this game over Miami. Miami's playing great, but Dallas is at home. I think they have they are going to come back. They need to get a comeback win. I think Dallas brings this home.
Okay, that man is crazy. I'm not going to take too much time about this, but you already know what my answer is. And I'm done.
Miami.
Next.
Of course, it's Miami. Going in their second game of the night, New Orleans at Phoenix. This is a tough game because both of them are terrible right now, but I got Phoenix. Only because they're at home, only because I think that Phoenix needs to get back on track. If they can't get past this New Orleans team, then I think they're in trouble.
Bro, you are smarter than you look.
Look pretty smart.
Well, actually, you don't. You look pretty cute, I guess, if you call yourself
What
that.
the?
Bro, you called yourself.
What? Bro, don't. All right, go.
All right. Remind me never to call this man cute again, all right?
Don't. I'm telling you, don't. I'm telling you. I'll remind you.
Dog, deep down inside, he like that shit. You see him blushing,
Pause.
right?
No.
He
Hey,
blushing,
go.
he blushing
Choose
as
your
fuck right
pick.
now.
Pick your
That
pick.
nigga's face is so
Pick
red.
your pick. Yellow, red,
Yo.
flag. Give it a flag on the play.
My producer's like flag on the play.
Yo, 20, 30 yards.
All right, stop it.
30-yard penalty.
All right.
That's
All right, cutie pie, let's go.
Hey, man, it's got to be
Okay,
sexual
wait.
harassment or something.
What
Hey, Eric's
pick are
on
we on?
film.
We're talking about New Orleans,
New Orleans
versus
and
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Focus, man.
All
You
right,
can't
man.
even focus.
All
I
right,
can't help. I got
relax.
all this sexy. I can't help all this sexy.
What? My dog wearing a sweater is cute. What happened?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyhow, New Orleans versus Phoenix. Phoenix is winning. No brainer. Let's go. Next game.
Wednesday, November 3rd, Atlanta at Brooklyn. I got Atlanta
Boom.
upsetting Brooklyn at home.
Boom. I picked Brooklyn to win that game. I love it that we're picking different games because it's going to give us an opportunity to debate for real.
That's what's up. And Charlotte, that same night, November 3rd, Charlotte and Golden State. I got Golden State because it's at Golden State. Steph is going to go on another tear. I think he got his second win.
Okay, can I borrow your pen for a second, please?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to circle this one real quick. I didn't pick a team yet. I was actually in the air about this game. So what I was going to do is let him pick first and go the opposite direction. I'm picking Charlotte to win that game just because he picked Golden State. Let's go.
No, that's a good way to. That's a good strategy.
Let's go.
Thursday, November 4th, Boston at Miami. I got Miami because it's in Miami. Boston's going to be partying. Anybody that comes to Miami for that first game is going to party the night before. It's going to be a loss. I'm just telling you. Wednesday night is Dream. Oh, is it still Dream? I don't know. Wednesday night is Dream in Miami. And they're probably going to be at Dream, or they're going to be at 11, or they're going to be at Tootsie's. I got Miami.
I'm still trying to figure out how this man said Miami again. Like, bruh.
I don't even know how they on television twice.
Finally affecting
Nobody
him.
won't see that shit.
What do you mean? We're kicking everybody's ass. What do you, bro?
They all drunk.
Haters in the building.
They all hung over. That's the only reason why y'all winning.
Haters in the building.
All away games are going to lose.
Hey, Miami, you keep doing what you're doing. I got faith in you boys, all right?
You got Miami for Thursday?
You already know,
Got
son.
Miami for Thursday.
Let's
Second
roll.
game that night, Phoenix and Houston. Houston sucks. I got Phoenix because Houston's still a young team figuring themselves out. I still like Jalen Green. Jalen Green.
Jalen Green, great basketball
He's
player.
pretty good.
Yeah.
He's going to be good. No fear in him. I think as they build that team, they'll be good in the coming years. But Phoenix.
I'm not even going to elaborate on this one. I'm joining my man over here. We're going to go with Phoenix. Let's go.
Friday, November 5th, New York at Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I feel like has too much for New York, and they're at home. I'm going with Milwaukee.
This was the second game on my list that I said I was going to wait for somebody to pick first, and I would go the opposite direction. So being that homie picked Milwaukee, I'm going to circle the Knicks.
I'm not picking first no more after this because what he's doing is he's trying to hedge his bet.
What do you
Just
mean?
in case. He's trying to hedge
I'm trying to make it competitive.
Next week you going
What do you
first.
mean hedging bets?
Next
I'm
week.
trying to make this competitive. My man went one way, I went the other way.
All right.
These were games where I feel like either team could have won.
New Orleans at Golden State, November 5th, last game of the night or last game of the week for us. New Orleans at Golden State. Who you got?
All right, New Orleans at Golden State. I got Golden State to win that game. I don't have to get into detail why Golden State's going to win.
Yeah, I got.
Let's go.
I got Golden State going to win that game. Also, I will say that moving forward, I'm not letting Mike take advantage of this situation and try to have me go first.
That's called scared money, ladies and gentlemen.
But don't listen to his pick. He's just going against what I'm saying. That's not even strategic. That's not even like statistical. That's just, hey, he picked this. I'm going that way. But what that lets you know is he thinks my picks are going to win. So he's just going with the losers.
No, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I did, okay? There were 6 games out of the 8 that I felt solid about, and I went ahead and picked those 6 how I felt. The other 2 games I felt could have went either way. Both games can go either way. So what I did was I left the games open and said I was going to make this competitive. Whichever way he goes, I'm going to go the opposite way. So like that, we're not coming back with 6-2 records again. That was boring. I don't want another 6-2. I want to win.
My teams are going to win anyway. So I don't even, whatever he's doing, it doesn't matter. My teams are going to win, and we're coming back with another 7-8 or 6-8 again. Mike, take us out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for joining us for another beautiful episode of the Cut and Debate Show, brought to you by Stellar Cuts, 2214 North Miami Avenue. I am Mike. This is my co-host, Chey.
I'm Chey and the Sexy, and I will see you guys.
He said sexy. I said cute.
We will. I don't care
he was
what
cute.
you said. I'm not listening to what
you ever seen a puppy dog with a sweater?
I'm just naming facts.
That's how Cheyenne looks to me.
We will see you guys next week.
You ever seen a cat with goggles? That's how Cheyenne looks to me.
See y'all next week.
Cute.
Love you.
Cute.